is a cold, rainy November day, and I can't go fish. Don't really need to go out to the stores to do anything. Watch the movie, bored out of my mind. So what am I gonna do? Well, this is a good time to go out and sort through all of your lures. I keep my spinnerbaits in little plastic bags. Sort through your lures, sort through your soft plastics, and see what you need to replace. And then when the spring sale comes around, you have a list and you're ready to go. I also use the cold winter days like this to do things like restring my rods. I restring my rods usually on New Year's Day. But who knows, if it gets cold and I get bored enough, I might do it before that. But it's just a good time to go through everything. Figure out what you're gonna do. Figure out what you need to get your fishing gear together, and then when it finally warms up and you can go out, you've got everything in hand. So I wanted to quickly show you a couple of things that I made out of just material that I had around the house. And these are things that I use to, these are two devices that I use to restring my rods with. And so here we are. The first is just a little L bracket that I mounted on my little light stand up here. Came down and ran a piece of threaded bolt through there. And this holds my line so I can restring my rods and not have to worry about that thing dancing all over or falling off. But I found that sometimes this isn't convenient for spinning tackle. It just depends. Sometimes I don't have any problem, but sometimes I do. So then I came up with this little device. It's just basically a piece of wood that I've mounted to the side of my workbench. It comes down and rests the spool on the table. So what that does is that gives you enough tension or resistance that as you're winding the line on the spool, it keeps it tight and you don't have any loose loops wound into your spool to begin with. And when I'm not using it, because of this mount over here, I just pin it up out of the way, it's out of the way, and I've got my area to work with. So just a little something to think about to make things easier for you. You know, another thing that you can do in the winter months is to come out here and go through all of the supplies that you keep in your tackle bag. These are rain ponchos that I keep for emergencies. This is my first aid kit. I want to make sure everything's up to date in there and fresh and ready to use. And then I also have my emergency flashlight. I want to make sure that the batteries are good in that. I want to make sure everything's ready. I got some emergency spools of line. Check those. Maybe spray them with some WD-40 and just make sure everything's good to go. Take a look at everything. All of your knives and your wrenches and your other equipment, maybe spray it down with WD-40. Let it sit out on the bench and keep it from rusting. So there's a lot of stuff in your tackle box that you need to look at to make sure it's ready to go as well. When you're going through your items, you want to check, make sure you've got enough jig heads for tubes, for swim baits, whatever else you use jig heads for. Little bitsy bug jigs that I like to throw. I want to take inventory on those. I'm going to come over here and go through all of my hooks. Make sure I've got plenty of wide gap hooks. I've got some circle hooks that I will use for my wacky rig sometimes. And just basically go through my weights, all of my lead. Make sure I've got whatever I need to get through. And as you're going through this stuff and you find things that you need, you know, make a list. Get it written down so that when you get ready to go, you know what you need. It's that simple. Okay, so now that I've gone through my soft plastics, I've restrung a couple of rods. I'm going through my crankbaits, and I have my crankbaits separated by not only these are all top water. This is what I use basically on the river. And then I've got my jerkbait collection that I have separated. And then my little shallow running crankbaits. These are also my river jerkbaits in here. They're smaller than these. And so I go through, and a lot of times when I'm fishing, I will actually just dump something in a box to get it put away, to get it out of the way when I'm in the kayak or the canoe. And so this is a good time to go back and make sure everything's put back in the proper slots and that everything is clean, dry, and ready for the winter storage. And once I'm all segregated and I make sure that everything is where it needs to be, then I'll take this little thing. This is just a sharpening block. It's just a little stone, and I can use it to go through and check all my hooks. And if I need to, I can sharpen a hook. Let me see if I can show you a little bit about that. This particular bait is an old crankbait that it's a Bagley Big O. I was fishing with my friend Ken Sells, and we were on the Stillwater River under a bridge and found this lodged in a piece of wood. So we pulled it out, rescued it. I have repainted this thing so many times. About the only thing that's original is that yellow. Everything else has been pretty much done up. But when you're going to sharpen a hook, what you want to do is you want to take this stone and rub it against the point this way. Don't come this way. Go this way. And you can feel when it's sharp. You can tell when it needs to have some more work on it. That one is not sharp. So and just that quickly, it's ready to go. So go through your lures and check the hooks and make sure everything's sharp, clean, not rusty. And then when it comes springtime, all you got to do is throw it. I've gone through all my stuff. I have a list of items to put on my wish list for the spring sale, and I'm pretty much ready to go. Hopefully I will get a chance to maybe sneak up to Lake Erie with Brian and Rich. We can break up the winter, but otherwise it's just going to suck because it's forever long, and it's either cold, rainy, snowy, windy, or all of the above at the same time. Basically, you're just going to have to wait it out and see what happens for the spring. In a couple weeks, I hope to get a little bit of a break in the weather here, and I've got an idea for some casting tutorial videos that I want to make. I've watched some and think I have some ideas to share, especially when it comes to working with kids and casting. I've been working with Sebastian, and he's kind of hot and cold, and I think I've got an idea to build some consistency into his casting, and that also comes with a lot of practice, but it'll be fun. I'm gonna make some videos, and hopefully I can get the kids involved. Be looking for that, and I'll see you guys later.